So first of all, of course, it's Dreamforce. Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to be here. I used to work at Salesforce. I am now the co-founder and CEO of Wayfound, which you'll hear a lot about. And Lakshmi is the director of customer service for Sauce Labs. So we are really grateful that you're here. So backing up, what we know and why the push to become an agentic enterprise. It is because what we know is that there will only be two types of companies by the end of this decade. The first type are those who fully utilize AI, and the second type are those that will be out of business by the end of the decade, right? So just by being here, we are on the journey. And we're already starting to see evidence of the financial impact on going on a truly holistic agentic enterprise journey, where companies that have deploying a really holistic AI strategy are already starting to get larger returns in the market. And what that means is, there we go. Now, how do you go on this journey? How do you become an agentic enterprise, right? It's great to say those words, but what we'll really see in working with companies is that there are several different ways to start putting AI to use inside your company. So everybody loves a 2x2, right? We're all business people, we love 2x2. So if you think about internal uses and then customer-facing uses, you think about optimization versus innovation in your strategy. So most companies start in the lower left-hand quadrant, right? Probably all of you are using AI to summarize documents, or a co-pilot to help you with writing or searching some of your documents, or coding co-pilots, yeah, in your company. So this is where companies usually start. Then where it's really important to start putting out some agentic experiences to customers. And here are the first customer use cases, and the ones that you're hearing about the most here at Dreamforce are customer service agents or lead gen sales agents on websites, right? This is where the rubber really starts hitting the road, because the stakes in AI agents get much higher in generative AI. Because here, you're not just using things internally, you are actually creating the muscle, the organizational muscle, to say, this is how we're going to work with this technology in the future. So this is the critical place to have your company really understand how to be successful with AI agents, because then you migrate to the next place, which is all the way up here. And just to be clear, where everyone is going to win is in the upper right-hand quadrant, right? This is the opportunity to win the future. This is the opportunity to create game-changing agentic customer-facing experiences, which will make you successful in the future. And so everyone right now, our goal is to move from this quadrant into this quadrant as quickly as possible, and more quickly than our competition or than native Gen AI applications that are in our market. And what you can see here is that this arrow goes straight through customer service and SDR agents. This is why these are so high stakes, right? Because the faster your company can be successful with these agents, the faster your company will be able to start innovating with innovation use cases that are customer facing. And so this is what we're going to present today, because Sauce Labs has gone on a journey of starting to implement a customer service agent built on Gen AI, and they had to go through a couple of iterations. And now, by being successful with that, by building this organizational muscle and cross-functional organizational muscle, the organizational muscle cannot just be in the product and engineering team around Gen AI. It has to be across the business owners, the customer support team, the sales teams, right? All of the operations teams and all the management. So how do all the stakeholders work together to be really successful and then start shipping more and more agentic products? So with that, and we'll start the story by having Lakshmi talk us through what is the journey that Sauce Labs is on right now.
Perfect. Thank you, Tatiana. I, at Sauce Labs, I work as a director of customer support, and we are an AI-powered testing platform, fundamentally. And we are actually an AI-powered testing platform for agentic testing. So my domain is pretty much in the support area, but then it spills over to product and engineering because our product essentially is tested by our customers and they come to us to ask questions. So the goal for us was to see that we have a deflection rate through our AI agent somewhere around 10 and going up to 25%. That's pretty much what we are targeting today. And I think it's fair to say that we were attuned with the changes that the AI was already offering about 3 to 4 years ago. We had an off-the-shelf AI-driven system. Just gonna, you want me to
Yes,
to the next one?
Slides, yeah.
So we have, we had an off-the-shelf AI-driven solution, which was kind of loosely tied to what we were trying to achieve. So we have the agent, we have the AI agent, of course, but then it was only limited to the documentation that you could otherwise Google and find out yourself. It just became more conversational. So we wanted to take it up to the next level. So in order to achieve that, we essentially brought in the in-house development team to develop our own AI agent. And then we were trying to figure out how do we then bridge the gap and lessons learned from what we previously did with the off-the-shelf solution that we had. And then that's where Wayfound kind of came into the picture. So basically, the AI team took in all the content that was coming in from the customers. And in the previous model, I could have just gone through like one interaction at a time and did the auditing of all of that and figured out, okay, what can we do differently? How could we then take it to the next level, right? So when we integrated with Wayfound, we very quickly learned that it's not just one-to-one interaction, but they have the capability to take all the interactions that's coming in once we went public with the agent, condense it to say what went well, what did not go well, and for the interactions where we fell off the mark a little bit, how can we improve those response times and the response quality that we got, what we were able to surface to our customers. So if you look at this chart here, we basically go through what features of Wayfound specifically we utilized in order to achieve that goal, right? So I want to highlight that when the responses are coming through, when we quickly audit it, we were going through 100% auditing prior to Wayfound. And after Wayfound, we went through pretty much just condensing it to a half-an-hour session weekly. We would look through every interaction that came through, look at what was positive, everything went great. Then it came down to the 10% of interactions where either it was negative or mediocre, somewhere we felt slightly short. And even for the ones where we were negative, we kind of figured out very quickly through the Wayfound Supervisor capability, because Wayfound has a way that it actually prompts you, okay, what went wrong here and what is a quick way of adjusting that response in order to increase the throughput or the positivity of the responses that we were getting. So that was a huge plus for us, where we were going from auditing 100% of content to 10% of content, and to doing it within 30 minutes in a week. Like, we literally audit every single interaction that comes through, and they help us kind of bucket or bracket that into specific categories, and then we can just zoom in on the ones that truly need our attention, right? So one of the examples that I can give you is, in the previous system, we were giving them prompts to say, hey, go to these links. And as you know, knowledge base articles can actually go out of scope fairly quickly as the product evolves. So we unknowingly were surfacing content that was no longer relevant. And then we were able to quickly see, okay, some of these are not even valid URLs. So we were able to quickly go and say, okay, what are all 404s? And then can we quickly catch that and flag it up? And then how do we ask our development and documentation team to then go and give the right content that is relevant? So that was one of the key changes that we implemented with the new release of Wayfound. All right, so I report to Surreal, and as you say, like once we gave Wayfound to our customers, my team, we really started to see a massive value, which I completely agree. Gives us rich insights, which was missing from our previous implementations, and helped us track to improve basically the agent response, but mostly the deflection rate, because that's the key factor for us. How many queries comes through our AI agent that we can actually deflect without having to come to support for further clarifications. So that's the metric that we are driven by.
All right. So let me just show you exactly how this works. So one of the things that that we did was we worked with Lakshmi. So we first onboarded Wayfound with the product and engineering team. And through that integration, they were able to see and audit all the agent interactions in a much more effective way. Then we actually trained Lakshmi's team, right? We had a whole onboarding, a whole training with you and your team. And one of the things that they said was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a reporting tool for AI agents that we can use, right? Because before then, the product team was using Datadog, and they were doing traces, and they were looking at normal kind of observability platforms for developers. But of course, your team couldn't really use that, right? It was not, usable. So here in Wayfound, what you can do is you can write evaluation guidelines in natural language, right? So you can go in, your team can go in and say, actually, we had something change. We want to make sure that the agent now complies to a new rule that we have in customer service. Just like you would with your customer service team, your human agents, where policies, guidelines might change, and you would bring people together in a room, right, and update them, right, on a new criteria that you have, a new policy that you have. You can do that now in natural language, and Lakshmi can do that directly in natural language without having to sit in the IT queue to write that new eval, right? So that's one of the things that they could do. And then she can actually set the criteria for alerting. So a red alert is an immediate alert that you get, right? Either Slack or email. And a yellow alert is one that is a roll up at the end of the day, and then Lakshmi and her team can review that at the end of the day, okay? So they can get these immediate alerts that then explain exactly what needs attention in the agent, right? And then we have these suggestions for agent improvement, as Lakshmi said, so they can go through these new suggestions for prompts and knowledge. And what you guys found, I believe, was that there was a lot of missing knowledge, right? Or a lot of knowledge gaps. Mm-hmm. And then through those suggestions, you can fill the knowledge gaps on the customer service side. But then the new prompts were taken and copy and pasted directly back into the agent platform. With MCP, we can now automate that and just ship those new prompts directly into the agents. And then that dramatically improved how the agents were working.
So I just want to add one thing that, yeah, this is the part that we live and breathe every week when we do our audits. We look at what's coming through, what action can we take, and then we also have a way of labeling the things to say, hey, this is an action item required for the development or product team, and then this action item is required for the agent, the AI team that's developing the in-house product, and the rest of it falls on my support team. So we have clear labeling and action items for each of these audits that we perform every week.
Yeah, and the metadata is easy to add, right?
Absolutely.
In Wayfound.
Yeah.
That's the other piece. You don't have to get IT involved every time you want a new metadata label, right? So what was the impact, right? The impact for your team was pretty great. What was it on morale before we get into the numbers?
Oh, I mean, absolutely way easier, because we are a small team, so I have to be efficient about where I utilize the resources. Our main goal is to respond to customer queries. So we obviously don't want to spend time auditing. So that was a big plus for my team in reduction in the amount of time that we were spending. And then it's not easy when you are QAing a product that you are taking to market. behind the scenes, and it's just your internal users. But once you turn it on, it's thousands of users interacting with the product. So the influx was going to be overwhelming for us had it not been for the condensed response or reporting that we got from Wayfound, for sure. Yeah.
Great. So you want to just tell us about how customer engagement was impacted?
Yeah, I mean, so you can see the 2x times engagement. So that's the main goal, that we want to eventually move towards higher engagement with our chatbot. That comes with more relevant data being surfaced to our customers. And then knowledge gap. So again, through our auditing, we realized that there are some repeated patterns of things that customers are coming to us, and we can reduce the amount of back and forth by simply writing a simple knowledge base article. So that kind of auditing data that was bubbled up to us was extremely useful. And then, yeah, any kind of data violation and other stuff that was also going uncaught previously went down, and then creates faster accelerated development. Yeah.
So this is particularly relevant for the product and engineering team, because they were going to spend 12 weeks just in pre-deployment testing for the customer service agent, because it was a very, very small team that was going through every single transcript, labeling it, ensuring that it was right, going through all the log files, going through all the traces, making sure it was working well. Within the first 2 weeks of plugging in Wayfound, working with your team to fill the knowledge gaps, like using the Wayfound Supervisor new prompts and directives to decrease the guideline violations, you guys were ready to launch in 3 weeks, right?
Absolutely.
So dramatically went from pilot to deployment, dramatically accelerated, right? Just a huge increase in speed. And I know a lot of people are stuck in pilot, in pre-deployment, and that's one of the reasons, right? Because it's so hard and so painful to make sure that you are really confident, and especially that the business owners, your team owns this agent, your team owns the customer relationships.
Right.
You need direct control. You can't be playing telephone with the IT team, right? So, fantastic. So, the way that we started this is to say, getting successful customer service speeds up your opportunities to win the future. So, Lakshmi, tell us where you're going now. And this is a quote from your Chief Product Officer, that she now feels, wow, we have completely untapped the potential of AI agents for our company. And now we can know that we have a tool that's really critical in helping us build, optimize, and deploy more agents. So tell us what you have right now cooking up.
Yeah, I mean, so our main business is essentially AI-powered automation testing, right? So as you know, the industry is going more towards, test authoring, AI-powered, and as well as AI-powered insights, because there are customers who run thousands of tests every minute, and they don't want to, again, just like I didn't want to sift through the probability of what's the quality of responses the chatbot was providing to the customers. I don't think any of the testing team would want to go and sift through the thousands of testing that they are running, but instead they're relying on us to have the very powerful insights that kind of sits as a second layer on top of the testing itself. And further to that, I think it's also the AI authoring, which is basically, I know the term shift left is sort of controversial, where you want the developers to quickly go in and then write their test cases, AI-powered test cases. And so I think how we used Wayfound was essentially a POC in terms of what kind of analytics data can be bubbled up fairly quickly, regardless of how many users are using it. So that's kind of extrapolated to how our product and engineering team is driving to mainly surface their AI insights and then AI-powered testing, test authoring as well. So that's where we are basically headed towards with the analytics capability we have for our core product offering.
And if any of you want a demo of the Sauce AI for Insights, we do have your colleague, right, Lena, back here.
Lena is right there. So she is our AI engineer who's the backbone of everything that you see here.
So she can give you a demo of that if you guys use Sauce Labs internally. And with that, we have a little bit of time for Q&A. I think just a minute or two if there are any questions for anyone building customer service agents, wanting to understand how you go from a service agent or an SDR agent to actual customer innovation with AI, we are happy to answer those questions. Anything? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. We're right on time. And come see us at the booth with Wayfound. We are an official Agentforce 3 monitoring partner. And again, Sauce Labs is over by the tables to demo the insights and speed up your automation testing for agentic experiences. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Tatiana.